What does a healthy relationship look like to you? This is a question I'm asked more often than you would believe in my business. Happy Friday, survivors. This is a short film that I've been working on for several days, and I'm really excited to present it to you. It's all about what a healthy relationship looks like to you. Let's get started.
My name is Angie Atkinson, and this channel is all about teaching you what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want.
In case you're new here, my name is Angie Atkinson, and this channel is devoted to daily video coaching for narcissistic abuse survivors. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. If that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. What does a healthy relationship look like to you?
So relationships are an important part of life, obviously. The quality of your relationships affects the quality of your life. Unfortunately, we're not taught in school how to manage and grow our relationships. And of course, many of us did not grow up with very positive examples of healthy and successful relationships. And then once you've lived with or otherwise been connected to a narcissist for very long, you might just forget what a healthy relationship even looks like.
The question is, what does a healthy relationship look like to you?
What a healthy relationship looks like to me is...
What does a healthy relationship look like between a husband and a wife? Describe that for them from your perspective as someone who's in a healthy relationship.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
So I was asked to share my ideas of what a healthy relationship looks like.
Let me give you a few quick tips to help you figure out how to have healthier and more meaningful relationships, okay? First up, avoid establishing romantic relationships to solve a problem. Often, we found relationships are founded on a problem. Maybe it's loneliness, a lack of intimacy, the need for support, or even the lack of children. So when a relationship is based on fixing a difficulty, there's always going to be a problem. Start the relationship because you're impressed with the other person and love the idea of spending time together. Have something that you want to share together rather than starting a relationship because your life is broken. It doesn't work that way.
I think that a healthy relationship is like a garden. And you have a community of plants all living in the garden. And when it rains, everybody in the garden enjoys the rain. And when the sun comes out, everybody in the garden enjoys the sun together. And when the sun is out and there hasn't been a lot of water, everybody wilts together.
The license, if you will, the ability to be able to speak up, to share your thoughts, your deepest desires, your deepest dreams with your spouse, and how important that is.
I've been married 21 years, and it's been a journey. It's evolved into passionate love. It's evolved into family love, and so we're back to the whole dating love kind of thing.
It's fun, happy. You're going to have your arguments always, because I don't know what it is about women, but they love to argue. But it's always going to be something y'all argue about, but it's fun, in my opinion, to actually work things out. If you don't work things out, you're not going to have a good relationship.
Number 2, realize that nobody can read your mind. It's not reasonable to expect anyone else to correctly guess your needs or opinions. It's not going to make your desire, if you won't make your desires known, expect to not have them met. You've got to take responsibility for taking that first step, okay? Address the issues that you have before you establish too much emotion around them. So talk a little bit each day, and maybe that'll avoid future drama.
When I think of a healthy relationship, I think of partners. I think of two people who are there for one another through it all. I think of communication, people who both know that no matter what, their partner is there for them.
Nobody is suffering more than anybody else. When things are good, nobody is enjoying things more than anybody else. Everybody's equally participating in life, and the entire community can sit in silence.
So for me, I'd have to say a healthy relationship, a good relationship, is one where even though you might be very different people, that you share a few interests, but definitely have your own niche.
My husband is a wonderful, wonderful person. He is.
Goodness.
And so he pours into me. He supports me. He's there for me.
Another one that came to mind was to just respect each other, respect differences, respect another person's opinions, to not always believe that you are correct, you're the right one. Another one that came to mind is to be able to compromise. You know, there doesn't always have to be a winner, right? In fact, quite often it can just be no one wins, but to compromise our differences.
Number 3, don't fight dirty. If you're going to argue, do so in a way that doesn't create additional challenges. So if you say, I don't like it when you leave your wet towel on the bathroom floor, somebody could trip on it and maybe, it gets a moldy smell, and quite honestly, you can't dry if it's on the floor. Well, you might have better results than you would by saying, God, why are you such a slob? You feel me? It's kind of a difficult situation, but if you can just gently explain what you want, it's a lot easier. All right.
And they also know that they're seen and that they can bring issues to their partner anytime, and that they will be met with openness and understanding and consideration.
So address behaviors instead of attacking the other person, on a personal level. Remember how the narcissist used to pick and poke at you personally? Don't do that. Number 4, avoid making assumptions. So, you know what? When you have dealt with a narcissist, it's like this. Whether they were your friend or they were your family member or they were your romantic partner, your co-parent, whatever, okay? When you have dealt with them, you know what? You tend to make a lot of assumptions. You know what happens when we assume, right? You make an ass out of you and me? Yeah. Sometimes people say and do things that really have nothing to do with you. You feel me? And if you're in a healthy relationship with a healthy person, you're going to have to learn how to kind of back up a little bit, rethink it a little bit, because in your old situation, it wasn't so clear. But sometimes really in a healthy person, they might just really be having a bad day. They might really feel a little bit sick, or maybe they really are having, some challenges at home or work or wherever you're not seeing them. So don't always assume it's yourself. That's the problem. Just talk to them. Ask them what's up. Be there for them,
Another thing that I think is extremely important is to just be supportive. In fact, it's very important to me. My spouse is my biggest cheerleader, my biggest fan, and I hope that he would say the same thing about me. So it would be to be supportive of each other.
I also think a good relationship is one that you can grow together from separate people into a collective, strong unit.
What true love is finding two people that are so very different, but they're able to do life together in harmony and in love. It's not always flowers and birds and you know what I mean? It's not the romantic love that we always think. It's about the love of being in someone's corner and knowing that you have someone else in your corner as well.
I think there has to be equal give and take. And just in general, somebody who balances you. You need to balance one another. It needs to be a partnership.
And then I think the last one, and I think this is really, really, really important, is it's okay to be independent. So to foster an independence from each other, to know that it's okay if you need your space.
It's about, sometimes it's not always 50-50. It very seldom is. Sometimes it's 90-10. And I mean, to me, when he gets up in the middle of the night, that's 90-10. Because I can't do anything and he's doing it, for me. And then sometimes I'm having to do 90-10 for him. And so it's being able to give and take and see that person for the love that you want out of life.
So number 6, let's roll right into it. You have to understand that literally no relationship can fulfill all of your needs. And, while some experts estimate that a relationship can only fulfill about 70% of your emotional needs, and again, this is your emotional needs here, you're going to have to find the other somewhere else. So no one can provide everything you require. Okay, it's necessary to take responsibility for the rest of that, all the rest of the, emotional stuff that you need. And my friend, you should be already to the point where you're handling yourself emotionally if you're jumping into a new relationship. Otherwise, you better keep it real casual, okay? Remember, there are billions of other people in the world and yourself to take care of that little 30% at the other side, if you are in a healthy relationship. Remember that relationships have the power to make your life joyful or miserable, okay? Relationships are challenging because people have different needs, different expectations, and different ways of looking at stuff, looking at the world, all right? Positive relationships, though, those are well worth the effort, my friend. It will be positive and it will change your life for the better. You have to ensure that you're beginning any relationship for the right reasons. Good, positive, healthy reasons. So if you enter into a relationship to solve a problem in your life, you're both likely to end up disappointed. It doesn't work that way.
And I think that is the most important part to a healthy relationship. If you cannot communicate with another person without constantly using words, I think sometimes we use words to hide that which is not spoken. And I think it's very, very important in a healthy relationship to have silence.
If you don't have trust, you don't have a good relationship. You don't have a relationship at all. So if you don't have any trust, happiness in a relationship is not a good relationship. Get out now while you can. Run. Get out. Don't fall into a sunken place.
Thank you.
Pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That's all I
All
got. Happiness. Love and happiness is the key to our relationship. If you ain't got neither one, leave. Separate. That's pretty much it. That's all I got right there.
Thank you.
No problem.
So when you assume that everything is about you, that's when it's going to get really ugly. You're going to be very unhappy. And my friend, the relationship is going to suffer. So find out. Rather than just making assumptions, find out. Assume there's a harmless explanation until you know otherwise. Okay? Again, this is in a healthy relationship, not in a narcissistic one, where it's a different world there. Number 5, accept the idea that everyone in your life is doing the best that they can at that moment. Okay, and healthy people usually are. Look, everybody's got a lot of potential, but sometimes that potential varies, and that's because from moment to moment, life changes, circumstances change, feelings change. No one can give you the very best every minute of themselves of every day. You know what? Sometimes, some days, you're going to get more days, more of the best than others, and then there will be times in your life that, you know what, they can't give as much, or you can't give as much, right?
I am a diabetic, and I have trouble sometimes at night. I just use this example that I have low blood sugar.
Yeah.
And if you're not a diabetic, it is the worst feeling ever. And you can't do anything. You can't walk. You can't, because it's just this overwhelming feeling of being sick. My husband often gets up at night and says, okay, do you have your glucose pills next to your bed? 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you want me to get, normally I do some juice just to bring my blood sugar back up. I'll get your juice. He'll put it on the bed and he just holds my hand, or either he'll rock me. He'll hold me and rock me.
Aw.
You can't get that kind of love. You know what I mean? That's a special kind of love, because I'm not sure that I would be doing that so much for him. I'm a spoiled little brat, but that's who I allow to pour into me. And because here's what he's shown me true love.
Yes.
Rather than love based on manipulation and what he wants from me. Nope, it's not that at all.
Okay, look at a relationship as an opportunity to give and to share experiences so that your journey together becomes joyful and fulfilling. You feel me? All right. I would love to know what you think about all of this. Please leave me a comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe. Also visit queenbeing.com. narcissismsupportcoach.com, and booksangieWrote.com for more information on narcissistic abuse recovery, or visit Narcissistic Abuse Recovery online for one-on-one coaching with me, Angie Atkinson. Have a great day.
As always, thanks for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me.
It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, nurture the real you, and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot, take it now, and the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.